Hey, today I'm going to talk about the new Marvel Studios film Black Widow from 2021. It's so weird. It's been like almost 2 years since a Marvel movie. This hasn't happened since from Incredible Hulk to Iron Man 2, which was 2008 2010. It's insane. Now, was it worth the wait? I don't know. I mean, it's a Black Widow movie. It's going to be some sort of, not really origin story, kind of in the beginning. It's more of a adventure Black Widow before, Endgame. Or I'm gonna get spoilers now. She fucking hit her head and fucking died. But after watching this movie, I'm pretty sure she's alive because Black Widow takes no damage in this film. Like she's apparently just some sort of like genetically gifted person, but it's never really stated she has superhuman strength or anything. I mean, she's very agile, but man, the thing she survived in this movie is insane. What is the plot? Well, the plot's like a little kid wrote it. There's a bunch of Black Widows and they're being mind controlled by this guy. It's obviously a metaphor, an allegory for trafficking, human trafficking, and basically that's it. That's the main plot, and she has to find the guy she thought she killed before, who is still making the Red Room, which is kind of a weird name because when I think Red Room, I think of those, the entire thing made up by the dark web where they murder people for money. Anyway, that's the point. We start off with a nice little scene. I thought it was shot like a fucking indie movie, a lot of shallow focus. It felt weird. It didn't feel a part of the movie. I thought, did I walk into the wrong theater? But no, I had the Marvel Studios logo before it. It's very jarring actually. And then it started feeling like a Hollywood Marvel movie once American Pie started playing. I'm like, okay, if it was an indie film, it would have blown its entire budget on this one song. So of course it's a Marvel film. Budget is 200 million by the way, and it's made nearly back its budget in just a few days. It's really been the best performing movie at the box office, of course, because it's Marvel. It's recognizable. It's got brand recognition. They can say, Marvel's back in theaters, and that'll make people go back to the theaters because I saw it at a Cinemark and I was vaccinated, so I feel just fine. Went to the theater, pretty full. I mean, I think they're still doing the 40%, so I think it was pretty much full, and they're just not allowed to put people next to each other at this time until the pandemic is fully over. Till CDC lifts restrictions on all states. Masks are not optional, but up to you. But basically, yes, this video was full, and I think it was a fun experience. A little more cookie cutter than most of them. Dealt with serious issues, like I said, allegory of human trafficking. With a really weird, there's a bunch of Black Widows, which kind of makes Black Widow more insignificant. But it's a Marvel movie. They can't really up what I'd say it is human trafficking. So, sure, it's PG-13, but a lot of kids see these movies. Comic books were made to sell ads to kids and read cool stories, so kids will be there no matter what. So they can't have stuff like that. That's why when Deadpool came out, they made it a very parent R-rated movie because a lot of parents took their kids to that movie. The performances, Scarlett Johansson, good as always. Standouts apparently was actually David Harbour as the Red Guardian, a Captain America wannabe version of the Russia. He loves his glory days, which I don't really think were that great because he doesn't really seem to have any impact on the Marvel universe. Like Captain America, everybody loves, and no one really knows who the Red Guardian is, and he was thrown in prison because he was kind of friends with Deckard, not Deckard, I keep calling Deckard, Derek, whatever his name was. It was a weird guy. He was behind the whole Red Room thing. He was friends at some point, and then at one point he just threw him in jail for life, prison really. And he's just been there for years until Black Widow and her pseudo sister. They're not family, they're surrogate family. They're stitched together to be a family unit in Ohio to do a secret mission, and then they left. And Black Widow and her surrogate sister were put through the Red Room, but they feel like a real family, and they actually have great chemistry. Dave Harbour is great. His Russian accent, sure, it may sound stereotypical, but it's actually pretty convincing. I mean, I've only seen him in very few stuff. Stranger Things. Never saw Full Stranger Things. I really liked him in it. Never saw Who Fell Boy, but he was still the show in this movie as a washed up, kind of overweight guy who can barely fit in a superhero costume. Reminded me a lot of Mr. Incredible. Of course, there's Lady Pouts, as Max Closet says, from Midsummer as Natasha's sister, surrogate sister, but at the end they realized they were a family. And that's what's important about this movie. That was the meat of the movie. The action scenes, just like our Marvel movies, every Marvel movie has pre-visualized action scenes before they even have a script or director. So a lot of it feels so cold and calculated, where it's not even that exciting anymore. I mean, I go to an action movie, I want to see choreography that's feels real and stuff. Like there's a scene where they're walking, running down rooftops. It doesn't feel as real as when Jackie Chan ran across this fucking skyscraper. And again, this guy Jackie has no stunt double, so it was really him doing it. Here it felt almost cold and clinical because it was so pre-res. It was so planned that you can kind of see where they got their where they hit their mark. So that's not really their fault. It's just Marvel's creative control, where they have to be in control of everything. Well, it's actually a good thing. I think the reason Marvel's gone off so long because their pre-planning is so great. Like DCEU was like got shut out and then just went down the drain immediately after Justice League. They're trying to get back. They're trying to get it back to their movies like Joker and Shazam, but Marvel's got the formula down. They keep to that formula. Keep the audiences happy. Don't take any risk, and you can see why Martin Scorsese's very angry at the fact that their movies are making so much money and they're really not that great. But yeah, other than that, it's a fun film. Uh, yeah, I can't really spoil too much. I already kind of did. I mean, there's more stuff that happens in the film. It's about espionage and spies, but it's really not that complicated, which is good. But it could be a different movie, and yeah. I don't really watch much horror movies. Apparently, yeah, this takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a fun summertime movie, and I do recommend to see it with an audience. If your state has theaters open and you feel safe enough to do the theater, then go ahead and do it. If not, it is available, I believe, on Disney Plus for a subcharge, but I think it's worth the money. I believe so. Please be able to support any type of film because I want more movies in theaters, back in theaters. Hopefully, this pandemic ends, and I'll see you all later.